All right, here we go. This is going to be a 40 Smith & Wesson versus a 357 SIG test. And we do have the Glock 27 and the Glock 33. Those both have same exact barrel lengths, and that is at 3.42 inches. And the round we're going to be testing out today is the Federal HST. So for the 40, we have the 155 grain, and the 357 SIG, we have the 125 grain. So give you an idea what these ones are looking like. That 155 has a huge hollow point cavity, and same with the 357 SIG, pretty big hollow point cavity. And I actually have tested both of these in the past, but I have tested them in the jugs. So today we actually have a gel block. It is a homemade one, but I think we should hopefully get some pretty good results out of it. See if we can get a side view. But it is a pretty clear block, and we do have our couple jugs on the back just in case we do get a pass through, because this is only a 15-inch block. And on the front of that gel, we do have our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt. So we're going to step back to 15 feet and see what these things can do. I do have the chronograph, so what I will do is I'll set it up in front to see if we can get impact velocity, so we can see what kind of power we're getting out of these things. But they are pretty close in power. They're both just under 500 foot-pounds. So here we go. Let's step back to 15 feet and see what these things can do. All right, here we go. We're stepping back to 15 feet. This is our first gel test. Let's see how it goes. First up is the 40 Smith & Wesson. All right, let's see. Impact velocity was 1163, and we're actually able to catch in that block. I am very surprised. So let's take a look at that. That's awesome. And this one you can really see that temporary cavity too. So we do have our 4 layers of cotton. Let's see. So we did come in just a little bit left, but still looks all right. And let's see our entry hole. Nice big entry hole. You can pretty much see inside that thing. Let me see if I can lower this camera a little bit. And there we go. Look how that thing did. That is awesome. So it looks like probably about 1/2 to 3/4 inches in, that thing started expanding. We have a huge temporary wound cavity. I will measure it later on when we get back to the house, but I didn't bring any of that stuff out here this time. But this is a 15-inch block, so it looks like we made it right to the tip of that, probably right at about 14 inches. And it did turn a little bit sideways, but you can see how that thing expanded. That is awesome. So what we're gonna do now is do 357 SIG and see how that one does. Guess we could show it from the top too, but I'm actually pretty impressed with that gel. It is very clear, so we're able to get a really good look at that. All right, here we go. Stepping back to 15 feet. This one is the 357 SIG. All right, let's see how we did on these. All right, so it looks like we do have a leaking jug, And impact velocity on that one was 1335. On that 155, we did have 1163. So let's check this out. Same thing, entry hole. Nice big entry hole on that. And we do have a massive wound cavity. So that's pretty awesome. That one did come through. It did hit that first jug. Let's see. Yeah, it actually looks like it went through the first jug. We went in that bottom left corner. We did come out. Did bounce on the ground, but I was able to find it. All right, guys. First, I just like to say, wow, that was a fun test right there. This is the first time doing this gel, so I'm not really sure what to expect and how to explain it to you guys and all that, but check out that entry hole on that. Get this out of the way. But do have a huge looking star pattern on that entry hole. And a huge temporary wound cavity. I guess with this stuff it's a permanent wound cavity, but you can see it where it was coming straight through. Huge spiral cuts. And this is a 15-inch block, and this 40 made it to about 14 inches. So it was just shy of coming out. But that is pretty awesome. See what that thing looks like down in there. And then these cuts here on top. Let's see if I can get a better angle. But just coming through, dumping massive energy. And that is after going through that cotton t-shirt, so it's still performing really well. But a huge wound cavity. So that's the 40. And this is our 357 SIG. Pretty close to the same. I'd say this one does look a little bit bigger. Big old entry hole on that. Kind of just carved right in there. And a really, really big temporary wound cavity on this one that you can see very well. And I guess, like I said before, it's pretty much a permanent wound cavity now. And this one did pass all the way through that block, and it did go through that first jug and bounced off and hit on the ground. But that is pretty awesome looking right there. Huge cavity that it made. I did these from opposite sides of the block. So there's the 40, there's a 357 SIG, but looking really, really good. So what I will do is I'll show these rounds, and then towards the end I'll do our still shots like we normally do, and then after that I guess I'll get measurements and stuff. But yeah, first gel test. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Hopefully we'll get better at this. It's still kind of new, so not really sure what I'm doing. All right, guys, check these things out. This thing is expanded really, really nicely. So on the left is 357 SIG, and on the right is that 40. And they got some major expansion. You can see that cotton texture on those lead petals that peeled back, but pretty much uniform expansion. Basically the same looking thing that we get through the jugs. So it's looking like this is pretty nicely calibrated, but looking really good on that one. And then this one expanded really, really big, and that one same thing. You could see that kind of cotton texture on those petals that it peeled through. This one still does have quite a bit of gel stuck in those petals, but we'll rinse it out later and get our measurements and all that good stuff, our still shots. That is one good looking round. They both did really good, so this was a really fun one in this gel. It's going to be a learning experience, but I think we can get it done. So there's the 357 SIG on the left and the 40 on the right. But if you guys like this gel test, let me know. If you guys do, I'll keep doing it. If not, we'll just go back to jugs until we can get some of that synthetic gel, the clear ballistics. But so far, this one was pretty fun. Looks like we got some really nice results. But there we go. That was 357 SIG versus 40 Smith & Wesson in our new gel block. I'll show you guys one more time. This one was 357 SIG. Coming through really, really nicely. And on the opposite side, this was our 40. And we do have a little bit of disruption right here. That's where I cut it out, but pretty good stuff. There we go.